opening with these words: the wait is over, the die is cast. Did you get me on that? The wait is over, the die is cast. And I'm talking about what we're getting now. That Professor Yemi Osinbajo, Vice President, Federal Republic of Nigeria, has declared intention to be in the presidential race. Now, what this will mean for the parties, I'm talking about the APC and the PDP. But the focus today would be on consensus. Now, we have it that PDP has jettisoned its earlier arrangement of zoning. And so, with what came out, is the field is opened to all. And that's what we're seeing with the PDP. Now, this does not go well with in some quarters because again, this is seen maybe seen as denial, for some section of the country who had earlier, gotten itself ready to be just the candidate that will come from that region. Now, this is not so, or this will not be so with the zoning, system, jettisoned by the PDP. Now, with the APC too, what we may just be having is having consensus candidates. That's what may be coming out for all the parties. We saw what happened with the convention of the APC, where it was a selection, certainly, of the national chairman or officials of the APC, and that again did not, was a consensus arrangement. Well, what is going on now with the two parties is that we may just be seeing a consensus arrangement. Now, what this will tell on regions or zones, and for aspirants too who had geared themselves up and saying that it is our turn now, but it may just not be it. And that's to say that the Southeast that had positioned itself that this time around the presidential ticket should go to the Southeast. With the consensus arrangement, this may not just be so. An uproar is also coming out on this arrangement. But we'll talk about this arrangement of the of consensus, and some analysts would say that not democratic in any way. But look at the options that are there. If we do not introduce the consensus arrangement, what may just be the outcome, on the racing for some parties. We'll look at that. But this morning, I want to go, take a long distance call to Owerri in Imo State, where I'll bring in Chief FIDEL ONYENEKE to be my guest on the program today, and talking from the Southeast perspectives, and also as an analyst that would, give us proper perspectives about, what is coming out, from politics, today in Nigeria. Chief FIDEL ONYENEKE, good morning and glad to have you on the show.
Thank you very much. Good morning. It's a pleasure being with you.
Yes, and I also quickly like to add that Chief FIDEL ONYENEKE is a media consultant, is a veteran too, the public affairs analyst, commentator on national and international matters. So, and what we expect, is to get a good run for many this morning. Chief, this is it. I just introduced that the wait is over, the cast or the die is cast, with Professor Yemi Osinbajo, putting himself in the presidential race. But again, let's just start with this consensus arrangement that we had known with the PDP. It has jettisoned it, and they're saying that the realities of the time cannot allow for for the zoning to be kept, and so it's for everyone is in the race. Who cares to be in the race can be in the race. And then we're seeing what is coming out from the APC too. It may not be going, it may also go with the, consensus arrangement. For you, the Southeast in all of this first, before we spread it all over.
First of all, you aptly captured the whole thing, that the die is cast.
Yes.
And because all this while, the nation has been pregnant with a lot of political issues, especially this issue of having conventions, determining who will lead the various political parties, especially the major political parties. And of course, the clamor for where the presidency will go to. And I know very well that, of course, people know very well that Southeast has always said that it is their turn to produce the president of this country. In fact, specifically, people also say that they want a president of Igbo extraction. But from the look of things and the way things are going, definitely so many people's thinkings and so on have been shattered. But that is not to say that final decisions have been taken. Now, you had the governors of the Southeast protesting, saying that no, that it must be zoned to the Southeast, or at least to the South-South. I was telling the PDP that this free-for-all contest is not the best and will not go well, especially for the Southeast. And like you rightly observed too, APC has not come out with a very clear statement on this particular issue. But it is also obvious that the candidates from the whole of the South are allowed to contest for the presidency of the country against the wishes of those from the Southeast who feel that it is the turn of the Southeast to produce the president of the country. But be that as it may, the most important thing is that we are now on top of, everything is set. Everything is set. Whatever happens between now and the next few weeks will make a lot of statements for the political development of this country. Now, people are talking about consensus. Let me say that consensus as a concept does not connote negativity. There is nothing wrong with consensus. If a group of people or persons agree that, look, this is what we want, and we are going to do it this way, let this person represent us, or let this person not go for us. It's part of consensus. There is nothing wrong with that. But there is everything wrong when people abuse consensus or consensual agreements. And even when people don't understand consensus and see it as a way of imposition. If you say that you are carrying out consensus, the various parties must agree. They must come to terms. But a situation where you are talking of consensus and a particular individual or a group of persons now impose their wish or whatever they want on the entire system, such a situation is highly unacceptable and will always be resisted. It will not augur well for democracy. It will not augur well for equity. Also, there is no fairness. So that is the problem. So Nigerians must know it, that the word consensus does not mean something bad, but rather the way it is applied. Because imposition is negative, is not good. You cannot,
Yeah, quick, Chief, let me also look at the two parties here. I'm looking at the PDP, and Governor of Sokoto State, Tambuwal, had come out to say that we're talking about realities of the time, which Othom, Governor, Othom of Benue State, had said that with what was, what is presenting, that consensus would just be about the right thing to do, and unanimously, the committee agreed that it should be now thrown open. And again, with the APC, what we saw was that it was like an imposition, so to say, on officials, it's elected officials, that what the president wanted, he got it. And so this arrangement about realities of the time, is it, now that the Southeast says it's its turn to have it, but the realities of the time is showing that it may just not be the ideal thing to do, because Tambuwal is saying that, are you going to leave out the numbers? The numbers, of course, determine who gets the ticket, and of course, the North will be proud at any time to say it has the numbers.
No. Let's look at it this way. Let's start with PDP. Why are they not courageous enough to say that we are zoning our presidency to a particular place? Something they've done in the past. And of course, even the Constitution provides for zoning. I'm talking of PDP now. So why is it that this time they are afraid? They are not courageous. They can't stamp their feet and say, look, we are zoning this to a particular part of the country. That is why people are worried about the situation.
But I just said reality of the time, or realities of the time.
What is the reality? Is the reality that a particular part of the country cannot lead the nation? What is the reality there? What is the reality? The fact that you cannot consider those that have led this country over the years, do some sort of calculation. Know those who have not been given effective opportunity to lead the country. So that, you can't be talking of reality in a situation where you have jettisoned the part of your constitution, and you are not considering the yearnings and aspirations of a particular part of the country or some particular parts of the country. So there's no reality as far as I'm concerned in this particular issue. Rather, it's a situation where they lack the courage, they lack the boldness. It's like they are trying to satisfy the wills and, of course, aspirations of a particular people. And that is why it's being thrown open. And, of course, it's obvious that even when you talk of consensus, it definitely means that in Nigeria, in a country like Nigeria, where money plays a lot of role, who the highest bidder, we definitely get it, and we definitely take it. So there is no guarantee that it must go to a particular part of the country. What it now means is that even those who have led the country over the years can also, if they have the wherewithal, including number, money, and so on, that they will continue to lead the country perpetually. And that is not the best. That is not democratic. That's exactly the point I'm making.
Well, again, do you throw suspicion into this arrangement? Because, again, we're looking at the presidential aspirants that have come out from the PDP. People suspect that some of them are just, out there to make noise, but they'll fizzle out. And, again, this may just narrow it down to, particular candidates or candidates here. And so that arrangement is suspect from the beginning of it.
That suspicion is not I don't know how to put it. It might be there because considering the issues, how things are going, definitely as long as you've thrown it open, the highest bidder will get it. And who are the highest bidders? Nigerians can easily assess all those aspirants and know that, look, it's possible that this type of person can get it. And they are now talking of alignment and realignment. Even the consensual agreement we are talking about, is it possible to arrive at a consensus at this particular level, at this rate? I'm not saying that it is impossible, but the truth is that before they arrive at any consensus, so many things must have exchanged hands, including money. And that also buttresses the fact that without money in Nigeria, we cannot get the best in terms of leadership.
Okay, Chief, again, I still stay with the Southeast here. I mean, Nigeria in its history had at only one time, and that's talking about the time we had the head of state, General Aguirre-Nsi. That was the time, military or civilian, the Southeast had never had a touch or dose of that number one figure again. And that, again, do you suspect, again, that is also part of, just shoving the Southeast out of the mainstream of politics in Nigeria?
No. I may not say that it is actually the main reason, but the truth is that under an agreement, and of course any right-thinking person will know that, just like you pointed out, apart from when Aguirre-Nsi ruled this country as a military person, we had Azikiwe, who was just a ceremonial president. Yes, I didn't have that executive powers. So it is only natural that the Southeast should be allowed to produce the next president of the country. It is possible that there are many forces that are against this particular wish of the Southeasterners, most Southeasterners. I am saying this because if there is equity, the major political parties would have thought it wise to zone the president directly, boldly, be courageous enough to do that and say, look, Southeast, this is your turn. And then it is now the duty of those in the Southeast to look for their first level, first of all, to screen them and get their best that will serve this country and serve the country very well. So all these things are apparently a sort of way of ensuring that the right thing is not done, because I feel that the right thing to be done now is to allow the Southeast to produce the president of this country. Even though they say power is not given but taken, but that is not to say that there's anything wrong in zoning the leadership to a particular area in the interest of peace, unity, and equity.
What do you make of this? Again, I've had a public affairs analyst that had tried to look at politics as playing out in Nigeria today, and particularly from the Southeast. this public analyst had said that, the Southeast, or politicians of the Southeast, have not in any way learned to extend, hands of friendship across the border, and they make it a thing that they can't get, the kind of support they will get from other regions. Do you see this playing out in any way?
Well, that is a very wrong perception, because the politicians in the Southeast, we have some of them who have served as ministers, heads of ministerial departments and so on, and they related with everybody from different parts of the country. We have our people, we have Southeast people who are campaigning now, even moving to other states of the Federation. So it is wrong for somebody to even say that the politicians from the Southeast, that that extension of that hands of fellowship is a problem for them. No, they do relate very well. We have some of them who have links, friends, and so on. Even as those in business and who have businesses in different parts of the country, not just necessarily in the Southeast. So I think that's a very wrong thing for anybody to say, because anybody who is aspiring to be the president of this country knows that he or she must have that relationship with other parts of the country. You cannot. No man is an island. You cannot get it alone. You must have, after all, there's even constitution demands that there must be a percentage of votes you get from different states of the Federation, and not necessarily from your own area. So if you want to contest for the presidency, for you to get such votes, you must campaign, you must have your link, friendship, friends, and so on, and well wishers. The long and short of my submission in this particular one is that it is wrong to say that most of those from the Southeast are limited to their geopolitical zone. No. They are doing the right thing, and they know what to do in order to win the presidency of this country. But then the fear is that people, rather the suspicion is that there are those who really do not want the president of this country to emerge from the Southeast. It is expected, because there's no way anybody or everybody will like a particular group at any time. And some people may have reasons for their own suspicion, their fear, and the other things. But the truth is that we still have good people. We have good people, very credible people, people of integrity from different parts of this country, including the Southeast. So anybody who generalizes thinking that tries to be afraid of the emergence of a president from Southeast may be making a mistake, because we still have quality people who are qualified.
Yes, again, Chief, the bomb just dropped on us, and in my introduction, I just said that the wait is over, and talking about the wait is over is to hear Vice President Yemi Osinbajo declaring that he wants to be part of it, the presidential race. He's dropped that, and that again is raising eyebrows from every quarter. Recall again that I said that the PDP has said that its throne is the consensus candidate is what may work, and of course the APC too is adopting that, and for reasons best known to it's the party, with President Vice President Yemi Osinbajo dropping the bomb now, and saying that he wants to be part of it. Now a lot of interpretations, connotations have been put into this, and of course again we're seeing some people will say the hand of Esau in all of this, and that the voice of Jacob too is also playing out. But again, it leaves a very, very important issue here about the ambition of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Now, let me just bring this out about Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Could this be working against him? One, he had said that he wants to be president of Nigeria because this has been a lifetime ambition. Now, how this goes down with Nigerians, I still leave it there in the open. And then, secondly, in the line of campaigning or getting himself across to the people or selling out, he had said that he could be forced or made to fight dirty. Nigerians just did not like that. But again, Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, a lot of people had said that no, not bite the finger that fed you, not do a thing like that to your mentor, not he brought you up, he gave this position to you, he did all of that. Assessing that. having the Vice President Yemi Osinbajo in the race now?
Well, first of all, I admire the courage of the Vice President to have signified his interest to contest this election. Presidential election. And secondly, he is entitled to it because as a Nigerian who is qualified to, he has every right to aspire for the highest position in the land. And above all, somebody at that position, somebody who served as the vice president of vice president of the country, and they had, so to say, knows the terrain of the presidential area and so on and so forth. I think there is nothing wrong in his coming out to aspire for the position. Now, he cannot, there is no sentiments in politics when it comes to this type of thing. Osinbajo cannot say because he is from the same geopolitical zone with Tinubu or whoever, and then will not make his aspiration known to the people, because nobody is God. There is nothing wrong in trial, and Tinubu should not hold it against Osinbajo or any other Yoruba person that decides to run for this particular position, because there's no law that says that it must be given to Tinubu also. And I want to tell you that Osinbajo has so many things going for him apart from his current position. He's somebody who is very sound in political issues, a legal luminary, and of course a tested person, having served as even Attorney General of a state and so on and so forth. So nobody will fault him. We say that he's not qualified. But at the same time, all that Tinubu needs to do now is to reach out to some of these people, discuss with them. If they now feel that you are more qualified, we allow you go on. That's again where consensus comes in, provided it is genuine consensus and not a negative one. If they reach out, no problem. But if not, there's nothing wrong in Osinbajo going ahead with his aspiration. And remember that more people will emerge. And in any case, there's even no law that also says that the next president must come from the South. They are going to compete. Southwest or wherever. But they are going to compete with other people from the Southeast and South. Even if it is zoned, or they have allowed those from the southern part of the country to signify interest, it is not going to be left for one person. It's going to be a contest. So nobody should hold anything against Osinbajo or any other person, because I believe that at the right time, the right person and the person that God wants to rule this country will emerge from out of all of them.
Well, with the PDP, the early arrangement was that zoning, you should go to the southeast. With the APC, we do know that it is, to go to the south. What part of the south now, we just do not know. But again,
yes,
with this arrangement that is on, people, saying that we're seeing politics, all right, but betrayal and, all of that playing out. Particularly, taking on the man, Ahmed Tinubu, for how much he had done to a party like the APC, and we do not know what agreements had been signed or agreed on, and all of that is playing out now. But to use a man again, yes, free for all, because it is the democracy, that a man that he had mentored, so to say, had been a commissioner of justice in his state when he was governor, a man that he said, you go and let me just stay behind, that he had done all of that. And again, at the height of it, when you count on loyalty, here's betrayal playing out. That's assumptions of some people.
Yeah, well, it's an assumption really. And if Tinubu feels that he's being betrayed, then let him re-strategize. Let him re-strategize. Look for another way of taking certain actions and certain decisions. But he cannot automatically stop somebody from contesting, because it is the constitutional right of Osinbajo and other people. And if he also feels that he's being betrayed by a particular group of people, let him reach out to those people. Consider why they are betraying him. If he's genuinely not right now to contest for the election, then he will rescind his decision. But if he feels that these are mere political gimmicks and so on, then let him continue. He should not be afraid of anybody. He should not be afraid of Osinbajo or any other person if he really feels that he is qualified to lead the country. But I want to tell you that Osibajo and other people who may be serving ministers and so on in the present cabinet are all qualified to contest, provided they have taken that decision and they meet all the conditions and so on. Let them go ahead. All we want is the best. But I want to tell you that it would have been better for this country, for us to, at this particular time, focus our attention on the Southeast for equity and for peace to reign more. I know why I'm saying this, because there is need for us to consider so many things before each of these bigger political parties decide where to pick their presidential candidates from. But if they make it an all-commerce affair as is being done now, especially like PDP did, then it means that if it is not properly handled, the bickerings will continue, and it may not augur well for the democratic process in this country.
Okay, FIDEL, ONYENEKE, I'll go for a commercial break and just stay. We'll be with you at the turn of the break.
Okay.
Wake up.
Let's wake up.
Good morning, everybody.
And what a beautiful morning it is.
Smell the coffee.
Let's get started, shall we?
Wake up and smell the coffee. On the Coffee Morning Drive, 98.9 in Victor FM.
We'll be right back after this quick commercial break. Are you serious? Victor FM.
Perceptions could change. Opinions can be formed with more and accurate information. Get all sides, views, and opinions on topical issues. Have your say on Perspectives. With Twin Alabi at 9 a.m. Mondays to Fridays on Invicta 98.9 FM. Perspectives. All sides, all views, all individuals are welcome.
Welcome back. Is the program Perspectives this morning, and attention is on politics today. And of course, we're looking at the bomb that has been dropped on us, and that's about Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, throwing in that he wants to be part of the presidential race, and that is going on now. We also looked at the consensus, an arrangement that is playing out with the parties today, and of course the outcome of it, and some people are feeling shortchanged in this arrangement. But again, we knew the party, the PDP, with that arrangement, it has jettisoned it to say that the realities of the time would not allow for a consensus candidate to come out. So it's thrown the field open for all. The APC as a party we're also seeing that coming out now, because with the last officials of the party that were selected, elected, as you'd want to say, we saw the president's hand in all of it, that we must have a consensus candidate in all of these too. That played out. And so what this is telling about the race, getting ready for the real race. And of course, again, now that Vice President Yemi Osinbajo too has shown intention that he wants to be part of it. And what is coming out from all the states? My guest this morning by phone, long distance call to Owerri in Imo State, Chief FIDEL ONYENEKE, a public affairs analyst, a media consultant, a veteran, for that matter, a commentator on national and international matters, sharing thoughts with us on all of that. Well, Chief FIDEL, before we went on that break, you were talking about that it should be on top priority, that Southeast must be considered in all of these. And of course, we talk about what's also coming out from the Southeast. We know IPOB is doing its own there, and we also know that it's calling for a break from the entity called Nigeria. And if this plays out too, that the Southeast is also not given a chance to, just saying not given, maybe not given, and this will heighten agitations from that part, and of course we may just not, be seeing the end of these agitations from that zone in the country. Your thoughts here?
Yeah, you see, it is definitely obvious that some people, especially the political class, are afraid of having somebody from the southeast now to be president of this country for obvious reasons. In the first place, the reasoning might be this is the part of the country where a group of people are agitating, saying that if you don't treat us very well, that we are going to leave this country and form our own country. So the fear now is if a southeast, somebody from the southeast emerges the president of the country, whether such a person will do anything that will threaten the existence of this entity called Nigeria. But I think this fear is unfounded because anybody who decides to contest the election under Nigeria as presently constituted definitely knows that he is going to serve Nigeria and will be ready to serve as a Nigerian president and not to do anything that will threaten the existence of the country. So anybody who is thinking that if somebody from the southeast emerges, that he is going to do anything that will be a threat to the nation might be wrong. Secondly, this is the time the government should have even assuaged the people of the southeast, people who are agitating, people who are crying of marginalization, people who are feeling that they are not carried along in terms of appointment, in terms of so many things. This would have been the time to now say, okay, let us correct this imbalance. Let us give somebody from the southeast a chance. And by so doing, you have ensured there is equity in the distribution of positions and so on and so forth. Considering the fact that for a long time, if you check the history of Nigeria, it's a long time that, in fact, somebody from the southeast, an Igbo person, has not been elected as executive president of this country. So that would have been an opportunity for all the political parties and the political gladiators to look for a way of balancing the whole equation.
No, that would be seen as undemocratic too, right?
No. See, look, power. That is exactly what I'm saying. You cannot talk of undemocratic nature in this particular aspect now, because if you are deciding who will lead the country, you will consider so many factors, including the antecedent of the people, including the history of those who have led the country, and so on. And we are talking of equity now and fairness. That's exactly why I'm raising this issue. But then throwing it open, like PDP did, simply means that either intimidation will be used, because there are some big persons who have signified interest, who are even, or the younger, not younger, the other people are afraid of. You mentioned the issue of Tinubu being a grant person, and somebody like Osibajo and so on served under him. So they see him as a father, as a master, and so on. So he can even intimidate any of them into succumbing. But politics is not played that way. But you cannot rule that out. Then you talk of making it a free-for-all contest. It simply means that those who have the money, if you go to PDP, somebody like Atiku, it's not easy for any other person to even fight him. Some serving governors, they have a lot of money. So what it simply means is that those who don't have much money, even if they are the best, will not emerge. And that is why, if you are talking of consensus, people may not even be bold enough to arrive at a real consensus.
Chief, again, what is playing out now? Let's look at the two parties. For the PDP, it's saying that it's throwing it open for all, to be part of the contest, and everyone should, have a dive at it. But for the APC, it's saying that it may just go with the consensus arrangement, because again, that's what may suit the party. So again, for the two parties, are we, what is playing out is what suits the two parties, and where they think they can have their winning ways. Again, that is what it should be like. What is wrong with that anyway?
What is wrong with it is that the parties may be doing what will suit them as politicians, but they are not considering the yearnings and aspirations of Nigerians. What should matter is what should suit Nigerians, what Nigerians want, and not what the political parties want, because the best from the political parties may not be the best for Nigerians. The best that may emerge in all these political parties may not be the people that will give Nigerians the best, the type of governance Nigerians want. That is why political parties, especially the major ones, must also consider the people, consider the masses, consider the electorate, and not just to satisfy their own interest and then interest of their political party. After they are going to lead both those politicians and non-politicians. So when you say something is free, it simply means that yes, quite all right, amongst your party faithfuls, you have thrown it open. You have made it that anybody can contest. But only the highest bidders will get it. How do you do? Some people may not have the money to compete with some big wigs in those political parties. So that is the problem. And then you say you are throwing it open to the South. Those who may emerge from South, everybody, all fingers are not equal. There are the bigger ones from the South that may get it at the detriment of some states in some zones in the South, the same South, that has never tasted the presidency. That's the point I'm making.
Well, just taking it to another climb now. I'm talking about what is playing out from where we say we're copying this democracy. I'm talking about America now. Recall that Ronald Reagan, blessed memory, a Republican, and his vice president then was Bush Senior, and it continued like that. And then bring you to the recent where we had Obama had been a president with Joe Biden as his vice, and again after 2 term of Barack Obama, Joe Biden coming out to be president of America. So are we playing out that again with what is playing out with Yemi Osinbajo and of course the president? That again, here's the president that has said that he has his trust in the person of Yemi Osinbajo. He had been, was in charge of the country when he was away and all of that. And for all the things going on for Yemi Osinbajo, is that what is playing out now? That, is about continuity and this goes on?
There is nothing wrong with continuity. But before I even talk more on that, let me tell you that, yes, we are practicing American system of government. But the presidential system, we must not copy it verbatim from the way it is in America. Culturally and traditionally, America has a different setup. Americans do not attach much importance to all these zoning issues and so on we are talking about, because an American is an American. But here we have people from different tribes, different religion, and so on, and all those things are put into consideration in power sharing in our country called Nigeria. That is why our presidential system should be fashioned in such a way that it will suit our people, suit us as Nigerians, and not copying what can suit an American and try it in Nigeria here. It may not work. Now, let me tell you, talking about politics and talking about succession and continuity, the best that will always happen to any government is for somebody who is already there to succeed whoever is leaving. That is why I cannot be against the presidential aspiration of Vice President Osinbajo. But in Nigeria too, that Osinbajo has understudied the current president and wants to take over. We must also consider where he comes from, whether the geographical location of his place and the cultural background and so on, whether it suits to be the president of that particular time. It suits Nigerians for such a person to be the president at that time must also be considered. And also, don't forget that all these things have positive and negative sides. Positive in the sense that, yes, you are an incumbent and you want to succeed your master. But negative also in the sense that, yes, whatever you are going to do depends on the performance of your master. What is the rating of your master by Nigerians? Are Nigerians so satisfied with the government that they will now want somebody who has been tutored by the incumbent, his vice, to take over? So these are the things. So many things are put into consideration, and that is why Nigerians must be careful. Political parties must be careful to make sure that the best emerge. But in getting that best, you must consider those factors of where the person comes from, zone, religion, tribe, and all those things. Very important.
Okay, all right. Chief Fidel, I'll have the lines opened now. Let's get to hear the audience, and their comments and questions on subject of discussion this morning. And numbers to call to be part of this conversation: 081 40,000 989, 081 40,000 989, or 070 87 800 989 070-878-989. On joining us on our Facebook page,
hello, good morning, Mr. Tony.
It's going to be Invicta 98.9.
Good morning, Mr. Tony.
Good morning. Let's hear you. Name where you're calling from.
Thank you very much. Speaking to Mr. Jibril from Nasarawa.
All right, Jibril from Nasarawa. Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Before I went ahead, I want to say that APC did not say they have agreed on consensus. Rather, it was only place. Not of correction. It was only not consensus. If you are saying consensus, it means somebody already appointed to occupy that position already on the ground. There will be election. It was only to the south.
Yes.
So
To the south.
It had been zoned to the south, not consensus.
But what is playing out? Okay, what is playing out?
The election within the southeast, within the southern part of the country. I mean, so with respect to the southeast part of the country, actually, me, I'm one of the persons that love equity, love justice. Right? I would like this power to be shifted to the southeast part of the country. But the southeast part of the country is characterized or predominantly that are Igbos. They are instrumental to their problem. The reason why people are skeptical, people are panicked over the attitude, over the southern part of the country, southeast part of the country, because of the way some of them are exhibiting hostility to other counterparts.
Okay.
Right? Look at what Hyper are doing. Right? So people are very skeptical. They're the kind of people that will give power to, when you give power to them, tomorrow they will change, and the mechanism said that Nigeria will be divided. Otherwise, me, in person, on the serious note, I support very much the power should be shifted. They should treat Igbos the fire. Right? So people like Rocha Okocha indicate interest to contest the election. But to my greatest astonished, the same Igbos were challenging, were condemning him. People like Governor of Oyo State, they indicate interest. People that are insulting him, they are condemning him simply because he comes from another political party. That is the wrong notion.
Okay.
People are instrumental to their problem. They should unite. They should speak in one voice.
Okay.
Apparently, and avoid this kind of feeling destruction. People will support them. Me, I'm behind them.
Okay. All right, Jibril. Let me just quickly let me go to Chief Fidel with this. Chief Fidel.
Yes, I'm with you.
Okay, earlier in the program I raised this question, but it's taking another dimension now. Earlier on I talked about that from the southeast extending hand of friendship has been a problem, and of course you put that aside too. But again, here is a caller here, Jibril, saying that he is a lover of having the southeast to take that number one position. That it's time for the southeast to be part of it. But he's saying here that the southeast are instrumental to their problem. That they are their problems. Let's also say Rocha Okocha has indicated that he wants to be there. He's having a lot of bashing again from his own people. David Omahi too has shown indication a lot of bashing coming here. That in the southeast, so to say, particularly the Igbos have not been able to sort themselves out in this getting this ticket, so to say.
No, you see, it is not peculiar to Igbos or southeast. I want to tell you that there is no part of this country where somebody will come out to contest the election that you wouldn't have a pocket of opposition. So it is not peculiar, it is not unique to Igbo people. We have had cases where somebody from the northwest, north central, and others signified interest to contest for election, and people will tell you, no, you are not a good person, you are this and that. So it is normal. That is what politics is all about. Once you come out, some people will support you, some will not support you. So no, there's nothing. It's wrong to generally say that Igbos do not like themselves, or they try to pull down their brothers who want to aspire for different positions. Rather, the truth is that is what politics is all about, especially in this part of the world. So, and that will not discourage Igbos. And when the chiefs are down, of course, once it is zoned to the southeast, you will see that the same southeast you think do not like themselves, southeast people you think do not like themselves, will come out with somebody. There will be consensus again, positive one, and somebody will emerge as the best.
Okay. All right. Still with your calls. Still callers on the line. Hello. Good morning.
Good morning, Chai.
Good morning. Quickly.
Pius on the line.
All right, Pius, quickly.
Yes. Good morning to your guest.
Yes.
I appreciate your guest this morning.
well spoken. And what we want this time around, the person that will come as our own president comes 2023 is somebody, a catalyst for economic growth. That is what we want. Somebody that will come and put our own economic development and growth right. That is what we want. And we have a lot of people that never even come out to even show their own interest, but we know they are fit. Yes, if I say Yemi Oshibanjo is fit, yes, he's fit. We have Peter Obi there in the southeast, is fit. We have Zulum in the northeast, is fit. So I don't know how these three people will come and tear up their face in order to rescue this nation, because these are the people that are found competent and comfortable, those people that will come and work for the interest of Nigeria, interest of the common man. The reason why I like Zulum and Peter Obi, Zulum is a grassroots leader, the one that knows what his own people want, and he is working towards achieving that goal. So that Yemi Osinbajo too, we have seen what he has achieved during just few weeks when the president left the country. We have seen his own achievements. The same thing with Peter Obi. These three people, they are the people that I think, if given chance, they will do something great for this nation.
Okay, all right, Pius. All right, Pius, appreciate you. Okay, Chief, again, I come back to you with Pius saying that, what Nigeria wants now, leader than Nigeria may want now, or, may deserve now, will be a catalyst for economic change, check on insecurity, and, of course, unemployment and all the negatives, or negativities that we're seeing, that he wants a catalyst, that will bring change in all of that. More than any other thing, that's what he feels that Nigeria should want now. And he's brought names, such names as Peter Obi, Zulum, and Professor Yemi Oshibanjo too, that this could turn out to be the kind of catalyst that may bring this kind of change for us. Well, again, opinion there too, and that's what Pius is saying this morning.
Yes, I agree with him. I agree with him because we need a catalyst, but such a catalyst must not come from a zone that has perpetually led this country. There are such catalysts in different parts of the country. You can get them, be it in south, south, whatever zone. So we are talking of equity now, and for us to get the best, it must come from a place that has not been allowed for a very long time to produce the president of this country. Okay. But the quality of leadership he is reeled out. I think he's very, very correct. Okay.
All right. Let's squeeze in this one call too, and we'll come to our Facebook page, see what's happening. Hello. Good morning.
Hello, my big brother. Good morning, sir. Engineer, go ahead for the line.
Hello. Yeah. Okay. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Sir.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning to your guest.
Yes.
Sir, one of the reasons that many of us wanted this presidency to actually change from the north here, that if you see how we are suffering, those of us living in the north here, if you see the massive killing, insurgency and insecurity and others, and almost all the savages from the north, the president is from the north, what we are saying is that if you talk of these indigenous people of Biafra, I think the killing in the north is even more than what these people are agitating. They are only agitating. They are not fighting anybody. So many of us want somebody from a neutral place, from the south, to come and see that salvage this country. Even Oshibanjo, I know the APC is using it as a strategy because they know that definitely maybe they want to see how Nigeria will react when it declare. So what we are saying, sir, is that if the TDP are looking for a good candidate, I think people like Ngozi were the idea. You can push her because she's serving the whole war. So what we are saying that let us have a neutral person from the south.
Okay.
So I can be able to celebrate this country because we are suffering not, sir.
All right, Comrade Gabriel. Okay, we'll put that across. But Joe, if you just go, what's coming out from Facebook page?
All right, what's coming out from the Facebook page? Well, there are some comments. This one from Ibrahim Mohammed Kidi. Well, that is noted. Emmanuel the Don says, good morning, Mr. Toyalabi, and your guest, Chief Fidel Onyeneke, says, to be frank with you, this morning your guest has spoken very well. But my question this morning is that where can I get PVC under Kaduna State? Because the one I have on ground is under my state in the southern part of Nigeria, and it may not be possible or necessary for me to travel there to vote. Voting an election. Well, he's asking a question. Then Khalif Harun Otakoye says, good morning to you, Mr. Toyalabi, your guest. Your guest is apt on his comment and analysis as usual. I completely agree with him. If we must be fair to the people of the southeast, I think it is time for the rest of Nigeria to support a candidate from that region to become Nigeria's president. It is no news that the region has been marginalized politically for obvious reasons, although that is not a yardstick to measure credibility or competence. But I believe they have candidates who possess such qualities. Every other candidate throwing their hats in the contest are doing so out of selfish motives and not for the collective benefit of all. Equity, justice, and fairness must be engendered to bring out peace and a sense of belonging. And the last message is from Augustine Shemang. Says, Mr. Toyin, my uncle, good morning. Nigeria would get it right if the Southeast is granted the right to serve the nation come 2023. We are all Nigerians, so we should stop discriminations and embrace peace for once.
Okay, Chief Vida, you heard that from our Facebook page, right?
Yes, I had it.
All support, coming for the Southeast, to have a go at it. Again, that's, and again, the listeners too, appreciating you for your contribution and the way you put your opinions across. We appreciate you too for that. Let's just quickly get your last line.
Well, Nigeria belongs to all of us, and we must not allow the political class to deceive us. They must do things with fairness. And I want to say that the major political parties must consider Southeast now for equity, to ensure that there is peace, unity in this country. If for nothing else, to stop all the agitations and the cry for marginalization by the people of the Southeast. But in doing this too, they must go for the best. I'm talking of the major political parties and in fact all the political parties. Now, if you are talking of consensus, let consensus not mean intimidation. Let it not mean imposition. And when you say that all parts of the country, everybody is free to contest, you must also guard against those who may influence others using money, using other things, other forms of inducement to emerge as president, even when they have nothing to offer. Younger ones must also be considered because this country requires energetic, dynamic president. And the youths should not be totally ignored. Even women too, they have a role to play. So we must put them into consideration in deciding whoever will emerge as the president of this country come 2023.
Well, Chief Fidel Onyeneke, thank you for coming on the program with us this morning.
It's a pleasure being with you. I'm always at your service. Let's make Nigeria work.
Thank you, Chief. And that will just be about the size of it on Perspectives this morning. Chief Fidel Onyeneke, media consultant, veteran in the profession, and public affairs analyst, commentator on national and international matters, sharing thoughts with us. A long-distance call to Owerri in Imo State, where he resides. Okay, Perspectives will come back tomorrow, same time, same station, and just like my opener was that the wait is over, the die is cast. We'll be looking at the drama as it is unfolding. Job, thank you for connecting us with the people this morning, and Wisdom, thank you for putting us in the pictures, and to my colleague Angubali too, who has been doing all the runs from behind. Thank you for being part of the program. Good morning.